Hi guys, welcome back to this podcast. My name is Salamata and you are listening to Salamata Speaking. Today we're going to talk about depression and depressive episodes and the highs and the lows of life and teenagehood and coming into yourself. For context, if you don't know me and you're not following me on my socials, my name is Salamata, obviously. I am 17 years old. My birthday is June 2nd, so I just turned 17. I'm going to be a college freshman this fall. And I've got a lot of baggage, like a lot. And sometimes it just seems like, girl, like you're 17, like be a kid. Like just shut up and be a kid and enjoy the world and the flowers and the things. But sometimes the world gets heavy and the reality of my identity sometimes can be a lot to bear, and all the traumas that you can collect as you're growing up. Sometimes they pile up and they tend to be too much, and it just seems better to curl up into a ball and just hide in a corner. Like sometimes that's like the best thing. I remember in middle school, if like something catastrophic happened to me, and it's insane to look back now and be like, okay, maybe you were being dramatic, but like I would have full blown panic attacks in the hallways, and my favorite spot would always be like this corner, like between the wall and the lockers, and I just like curl up into a ball and squat right there. And some people would walk past, and some people would ask me like, "What's going on?" And I'd be like, "I'm fine." And that was just my way of coping and soothing. But when you uncurl yourself from that ball, what you discover is the world is still as big and as scary as it is. Um, Most of the time, the circumstances of your reality are the same. And there's very little, especially in that moment, you can do. And there's very little you can kind of apply to change it on the reality that is making you feel absolutely like terrible, and your mood, like it just seems like, why can't I be happy? Or why is my heart racing at 1,000 miles per hour? I don't really know how math works, so maybe that isn't that fast, but I'm talking like super fast. Like, why is my heart running like cheetah fast? I feel like I'm dying. What is happening? Or just like a sense of self loathing. You ever been in a crowd of people and you made a joke or a reference that nobody understood, and you're just like, ooh, embarrassment. Like, I want to shrivel up into a ball and die. Same. Felt that. But you can't do that. We can't shrivel up into balls and die. Like, which is low-key a scam. Like, why were we made human? Like, that's something we have to like really get to the bottom of. Like, what is up with like being human? I personally believe that I was supposed to be a tree. Like, honestly, like a tree. Oh my god, I would have been a great tree. I'd have been like really sturdy. Like, maybe I would have been a weeping willow. I don't know. No, I feel like I would have been like sturdy and like tall, like a sycamore. Like really tall and lanky. That's something I will continue to ponder. What kind of tree are you? I mean, what else would you be if you weren't a human? Like, what does your essence and your spirit feel like? That's a great question. Please let me know. Feel free to DM me at Salamata0. I'm actually very curious. Um, but like, we can't just shrivel up into balls and die, so we need like coping mechanisms. And the fact that like you're just not born with them is like ridiculous. Obviously, there's like the biological reflex stuff that's like close your eyes, if you can't see the danger, is it even real? Just close your eyes. It doesn't exist. But as you get older, that one doesn't work, because it's just like, well, you understand that things don't disappear. Like, you have basic like object permanence. That's so funny, because in psychology we like went through the stages of life, and like as a baby, like there's a point in time where you can't even recognize your own like reflection in a mirror, and there's a point in time where like the only thing that is developed in the womb is like your butt hole. I'm a 5-year-old. That brings me a little joy and giggles. But the small reflexes we're built with aren't enough to kind of combat this very evolved world. So, here's a few of my coping mechanisms that I will offer to the girlies to help us all stay sane. And if you're listening to this while you're sleeping, oh my god, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. When people tell me I have a nice voice, I'm just it makes my life, because I personally don't like my voice. And the reason I'm not a stickler about it, and I decided to start a podcast, is because, like, why would you spend the rest of your life hating your voice when it's the only voice you're gonna have? Like, how am I gonna change my voice? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, just turn into, like, Cat from Victorious? No. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't have the dedication or the skill to do that. So, you pick and choose your battles, basically. Anyway, back to coping mechanisms. My number one coping mechanism is journaling. Oh my god. Journaling, 10 out of 10. And personally, I like pen to paper, but sometimes the Notes app hits different. Just like a brain dump. Not even like answer the deepest, darkest questions. No. A simple brain dump. Like, I feel like shit right now, and this is what I'm feeling. This is what the world feels like to me. That 9 times out of 10 will make me feel better. If I can't do that, oh my god, video diary. Just put up the camera. I don't like doing Snapchat anymore because it kind of interrupts me when it cuts after like the minute. But put up your camera, your video camera, whatever, and just start ranting. Just rant and let it out. Because most of the time, it's the built up anger and frustration with the world or whatever like is making you depressed that gets you to that sad point in the first place. So if you rant about it, it's out there, it's out in the world. And you can get to that like second phase of like, why does it make you feel this way? How can you fix it and become a better person for the world? All those things. What else should I say? So, any form of like brain dumping, whether it be journaling, in your Notes app, on pen to paper, video, diary, audios hit different. And, I'm a podcaster, so like, it's just the mic and the headphones. Like when I'm ranting and I can hear myself back ranting, and I like listen to it in the headphones, I'm just like, oh. After I listen to it, I'm like, this is what she's feeling. And I can remove myself from the person maybe 10 minutes ago or an hour ago that was just ranting about it. I can say, oh, this is what she's feeling. This is what she needs help with. Maybe here's a solution. And that kind of like, I don't know, hindsight outlook afterwards, you're kind of just like, oh, like you see it differently. Especially if you're looking at it like as a friend, like what advice would you give to a friend if this is what they were ranting to you? Because you can literally listen back to it and pretend like you're a different person. Coping mechanism number, I don't know how to count. We're not going to do this counting shit. Is to take a shower. Taking a shower is so hard. It's so hard when you're down in the dumps. I don't care what nobody says. Taking a shower when I'm depressed, number one enemy. But it always does the most. Like, it always helps the most for me. Like, if I've journaled and I still feel like shit, I just know I need to hop in the shower. Maybe it's been too long. Even if it's been, like just, like, a day. Like, I'll be like, yeah, it's been too long. Get in the shower. Like, I just know, like, if I feel like shit, I just need a shower. Because, I don't know, something about it just, like, resets your brain. And you, like, cleaning and, like, doing your basic hygiene will kind of remind yourself that you matter. Like, you're worthy enough to be taken care of. And no matter what is happening in the world, that is something you must prioritize. And I know, like, the way self-care and mental health is being sold on the internet. It's like, take a bubble bath. No, bitch, just hop in the shower, even if it's 5 minutes. Hop in the shower, let the water just hit your face. It will help. I don't know why, but it does. And even if it's like you go back to putting on your pajamas or like an oversized t-shirt, just do it. And I kind of have to work myself up to it. So I give myself a pep talk. I'm like, yo, if I hop in the shower, I could put on this fire ass fit. Like, and I just start thinking about the fit, in the pictures. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be so cool. Like, I definitely got to do that, like, straight up. Or I'm like, if I do that, like, I can go on my walk. Because I personally, like, most of the time, I don't like going outside if I don't shower. Which is why, like, I'll be indoors for days at a time. Not that I don't shower for days at a time, but, like, when it gets bad, it's that bad. So what I like to do is I like to give myself a pep talk. Sometimes it's like listening to Beyonce, like pulling out Destiny Child's, like, I'm a survivor, like, all the way. And then I hop in the shower. When I'm in the shower, sometimes I'll, like, keep the music playing to, like, distract myself and, like, really get in the vibes. Or I'll put on a podcast or, like, a video to just, like, listen to and keep me company. Like, kind of keep me distracted. Like, that's the theme here. Like, kind of keep me distracted while I, like, shower and get out of chat and get ready. Other tip is, like, make a pump playlist. Kind of goes hand in hand with the other one. When you make a playlist to hype yourself up, to kind of, like, with, like, good vibrations, like, and I'm not sitting here and saying, like, you need to listen to a spiritual song to manifest your life. No, that's not what I'm talking about in this case. I'm talking about just something that will, like, get your heart racing, like, get you to, like, get up and bust a move. Like, that's the goal of this music. My personal favorite, Black Parade. When I listen to Black Parade by Beyonce, ain't nothing stopping me. That's what? Bigger by Beyonce. And I know that's not, like, a dance tune, but, like, she's speaking to my soul, and I feel like that's very appreciated. Or, like, I like really poppy songs. Like, I'm a pop girl, so I just be like, ooh, nice. So, like, don't put no depressing shit on there, guys. Like, something you could really scream with your chest and really mean it. Like, Megan, ooh, I'm a hot girl. Yeah, 100%, 100% agreed. So anything that will, like, get you hype. And then when you're feeling low, like, when you go to play that sad music, like, yeah, we're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. And then you just play the happy playlist. Even if you're not feeling it, like, it'll hit you. It'll hit you. By song 3 on the playlist, you're just like, you get into it. Another huge coping mechanism is to clean your space as you go. This is the only way to escape the depression room cycle. Like, I promise you, it's the only way. Keep your room tidy as you go. My thing is, like, I'll get ready to go out, and, like, the 1,000 outfits that I try on get thrown everywhere. The makeup bag is open everywhere. 7 different kinds of lipstick, sunscreen, eyeliner, like, everything is everywhere. Or if I'm working on a big project, because I like to get really hype about things, like, I'm about to change the world, like, I'm about to build a rocket type shit sometimes. And so I'll have materials all over the place. And what you have to learn is to, like, just clean as you go, because even if you're not depressed afterwards, when that adrenaline, like, dips, when that energy just gets a little too low, you're not going to clean it up, and you're going to leave it in the corner of your room until the next time you're extra, like, hype and manic about it. You know what I mean? So I highly recommend that. Another thing is to, like, find a passion project. A little something. Like, if you know you're getting low and you find yourself scrolling on TikTok too long, or, like, you're just, like, watching movies back to back to back, and, like, you're not doing anything, you're just, like, wallowing in self-pity. I've picked up embroidery most recently. I'm going to get myself a loop so we can, get real professional with it, real technical with it. But, like, just, like, getting a needle and a thread and sitting in front of the TV and putting my phone away for hours on end and just, like, put little flowers at the bottom of my pants. I've been watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it's really funny. I love it. And I'll watch that and I'll embroider. Another thing that I was really into was collaging. I personally love collaging for so many reasons. Like, the whole, like, manifesting, creating vision boards, and, laying out your life and creating goals and all that. It's so great for that, but it's also great, has something to do, like something to put your hands to work so that you're doing more than just laying on your bed or anything. Because I'm a bed person. Like, I do everything on my bed, and sometimes just getting myself out of bed is like a huge accomplishment. So like collages are my favorite. Painting, go to Michael's or any store, get yourself a bunch of like canvases, start painting. Watercolor is also like a really good one. Like painting watercolor, if you get yourself like a watercolor book and a watercolor set, I think that's like the cheapest hobby. Probably made that up. But like watercolor like saved me through the pandemic. I'm not gonna lie. I lost my watercolor set. I've been so sad since. It's somewhere in the house. I just have to find where. I'll look for it. I'll find it. But watercolor is a really good one because you can mess up. Like, you don't have to be good at any of these things. There's just things to get you to start doing it. And sometimes you'll find that you're good at them, and sometimes you'll find that you're not so good at them. But the fact that you're doing something helps you kind of think less and exhaust your brain less. Another thing is make a Pinterest board. Ooh, I love making Pinterest board so much. And I found this other like website that's kind of like Pinterest, but you can like tag and like hyperlink whatever you put on the board, and it's like an interactive. I'll figure out what it's called and probably insert it here. Well, I probably won't because they're not paying me. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Get that bag, people. I gotta pay for college somehow. Another huge coping mechanism is to laugh. This one sounds so basic, but it's true. Like, you ever get so down in the dumps that you just like laugh into the nothingness? And that makes you feel better. You feel crazy at first, but then it makes you feel better. Something in your brain goes, we're happy. Even though we're not. And then you actually become happy because your brain is like, oh, we're happy. I'm telling you, laugh or smile. It works every single time. Did I mention go on a walk? Like, go outside. Go outside. If you're not ready to go outside, I'd love to just sit at the window and people watch. Oh my God. And if your window gets really good sun, just sunbathe. I'm gonna miss this apartment so much because the sun that this apartment gets is unlike any other. Like, I've never been any place where like they get this much sun. Like in any other apartment where it gets this much sun and lighting, like most of the day, like none of the lights need to be on. Like, I don't have to turn on the light until 9 p.m. And we're gonna lose so much of that because of like sky rises and stuff. That makes me sad. See, we're already doing the rabbit hole thinking that's not very productive. But definitely go outside, go on a walk. Anytime you can find yourself in nature, 10 out of 10 recommend. Hug a tree. Literally take your shoes off, touch some grass. Just breathe in the greenery, honestly. Very well recommended. Volunteer or help someone. Helping people makes us feel better as humans. Like, helping people literally makes us feel better. So it could be anything small as like going somewhere and like holding the door for people. I know that sounds weird, but like, trust me. Or volunteering at a shelter or an animal shelter or a human shelter. That's why I said shelter first. Or volunteering at a nursing home or volunteering at a school. Like, whatever you can or any way you can, just like volunteer. I don't really like donating money. Like, obviously donate money for a cause, but it doesn't give me the adrenaline boost. But raising money to donate for a cause, 10 out of 10 do recommend. It's a lot of work, right? But to like dedicate yourself to a cause, like, very fulfilling and very rewarding. I raised money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I was like, holy shit, this is cool and it matters, and I hope people's lives are like made better by this, by my small effort, and that always makes me feel better. this is for like religious people. Pray. You know, God want to hear from you sometimes. I'm not gonna hold you. Pray. I be forgetting that like I have to put in my 5 prayers of the day. Like I be forgetting to clock in sometimes, and that's mistake number 1. Like clock in. I gotta clock in. Maybe you gotta clock in. Just clock in. And like I said, for spiritual or like religious people, don't attack me and say Salamata wants me to pray and she's forcing me into a religion. Please don't. No, let's not do that, guys. I like my life.